Yasodananda Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachai Ira Vanachai Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janabalava Girivanadhari Janabalava Girivanadhari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Nandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hila Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janabalava Girivanadhari Janabalava Girivanadhari Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Nana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hila Vanachari Jai Nityalila Pravishta Vishupad Paramahansa Bodhirajikacharya Stota Sadashi Shimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nityalila Pravishta Vishupad Paramahansa Bodhirajikacharya Stota Sadashi Shimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Shri Radha Golokananda Go Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunagir Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Shri Gangamai Ki Jamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Rihad Madanga, Transcendental Bush Distribution Key, Prashadam Distribution Key, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Key, Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Jai. So we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 14, text number 45. Gangalera Bojana Rangadeki Gora Hari Hari Bola Bali Tari Upadeshkari. Observing the beggars eating prasad, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted, Haribo! And instructed them to chant the holy name. Purport. In a song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur chants, Miche Mayara Veshe Yacha Veshe Kache Habududu Vai Jiva Krishna Das E Vishvas Karle Tara Dukanai. Everyone is captivated by the waves of the ocean of nescience, but everyone would immediately accept Lord Sri Krishna as their eternal master. There would be no chance of being carried away by the waves of illusion. Then all sufferings would stop. Krishna conducts the material world under the three modes of material nature, and consequently there are three platforms of life: higher, middle, and lower. On whatever platform one may be situated, one is tossed by the waves of material nature. Someone may be rich, someone may be middle class, and someone may be a poor beggar. It doesn't matter. As long as one is under the spell of the three modes of material nature, he must continue to experience these divisions. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore advised the beggars to chant Hari Bol while taking prasad. Chanting means accepting oneself as the eternal servant of Krishna. This is the only solution. Regardless of social position, everyone is suffering under the spell of Maya. Therefore, the best course is to learn how to get out of the clutches of Maya. That is the verdict of Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Mam chayo vyavicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service, who does not fall down in any circumstance, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. One can overcome the spell of Maya and attain the transcendental platform by agreeing to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. Devotional service begins with Shravanam Kirtanam. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised the beggars to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for elevation to the transcendental position. On the transcendental platform, there is no distinction between the rich, the middle class, and the poor. So this is one very amazing pastime. Srila Prabhupada also, I remember he was in Mayapur and he happened to look outside his window where his quarters were, which was overlooking the prasadam distribution area. And he saw many, many beggars and children and also dogs going for all the leftovers on the leaf plates that the devotees had thrown in a big heap. And when Srila Prabhupada saw that, his heart, he became actually very tearful. And he instructed one of his servant that from this day on, within a 10-mile radius, we must distribute prasadam. So that was the beginning of our Food for Life program. So this is very instructive. Originally, when Srila Prabhupada first came to the U.S., does everyone remember the first engagement he did? There's 6 loving exchanges, which is denoted in the Nectar of Instruction. And Srila Prabhupada first introduced these. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. So he first gave the holy name. There's that tree in Tompkins Square Park. Next time you go to New York, you should visit that. There's a plaque that says the Swami's tree that he chanted under. And that's what he did. First, he chanted Hare Krishna. And then the second service that he did was accepting prasad and offering prasad. He was basically conquering the hippie youth of that age, and many others, of course, by the process of first kirtan and then prasad. He actually called prasadam our secret weapon. We can use it to engage everyone's tongue, because by taking prasadam, not only one's stomach becomes satisfied, but the consciousness, when one takes prasadam that has been offered to Sri Shivada Golokananda and prepared by the devoted brahmanas in the kitchen, they experience a whole new realm of energy and love, because the love that goes into the food is actually experienced, and Krishna's tasting it. So you're getting Krishna's saliva and lots of mercy. So these are just some thoughts on that. And text number 46. As soon as the beggars chanted the holy name, Haribol, they were immediately absorbed in ecstatic love of Godhead. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed wonderful pastimes. To feel the emotion of ecstatic love of God is to be on the transcendental platform. If one can keep himself in that transcendental position, he will surely return home, back to Godhead, in the spiritual world. There are no higher, middle, or lower classes. This is confirmed by Ishopanishad Mantra 7. Yasmin sarvani bhutani admaiva buddha viganata tatrako maha kashoka ekatvam anupashyati. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks in quality one with the Lord becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? So there's different ways of honoring prasadam. This is, of course, a big festival that's going on here. It's in the area of the garden just before the pulling of the Roth cart. I remember the one time I got to cook for Srila Prabhupada. He took prasadam in his own room very quietly, and he just sat there, and I put the plate down and I immediately left because I was nervous, like anything, being in his presence. But Srila Prabhupada would take prasadam this is sometimes the way older devotees take prasadam. They just relish each bite and meditate on the prasadam. But this is a very big festival. It's here going on. So Lord Chaitanya is telling everyone, chant Haribol. So in between the bites, it was Haribol, Haribol. So outside the garden, when it was time to pull Jagannath's car, all the workers called Godas tried to pull it, but it would not move forward. Tanite na pare goda rata chari dila patra mitra lana raja viagra hani aila When the Gaudas saw that they could not budge the car, they abandoned the attempt. Then the king arrived in great anxiety, and he was accompanied by his officers and friends. Mahimala ganadila rataya charlaitai apane lagila ratan apare janite. The king then arranged for big wrestlers to try to pull the car, and even the king himself joined in, but the car could not be moved. So, moving even more eager to move the car, the king had very strong elephants brought forth and harnessed to it. The strong elephants pulled with all their strength, but still the car remained at a standstill, not budging an inch. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this news, he went there with all his personal associates. They then stood there and watched the elephants try to pull the car. The elephants, being beaten by the elephant goad, were crying, but still their car would not move. The assembled people cried out, "Alas, alas!" At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu let all the elephants go free and placed the car's ropes in the hands of his own men. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the back of the car and began to push with his head. It was then that the car began to move and ramble along, making a rattling sound. Bhaktagana kachihate kare matradaya apane chalila ratatani tapnapai. Indeed, the car began to move automatically, and the devotees simply carried the rope in their hands. Since it was moving effortlessly, they did not need to pull it. Anande Kariya Loka Jaya Jaya Dvani Jaya Jagannatha Bai Aranahasin Shuni. When the car moved forward, everyone began to chant with great pleasure, all glories, and all glories to Lord Jagannath. No one could hear anything else. Nime Shetya Gela Rata Gundichara Dvara Chaitanya Pratapa Deki Loke Chamatara. In a moment, the car reached the door of the Gundicha temple. Upon seeing the uncommon strength of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the people were struck with wonder. Jaya Gora Chandra Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya E Mata Kolo Hala Loke Danya Danya. The crowd made a tumultuous vibration, chanting, Jai Gora Chandra, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Then the people began to chant, wonderful, wonderful. Dekiya Prataparudra Patra Mitra Sange Prabhura Mahima Deki Prema Ule Ange. Seeing the greatness of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prataparudra Maharaj and his ministers and friends were so moved by ecstatic love that their hair stood on end. Pandu Vijaya Tabe Kare Sevaka Kane Jagannatha Vashila Iya Nija Samasane. All the servants of Lord Jagannath then took him down from the car, and the Lord went to sit on his own throne. So that was Lord Jagannath coming off the cart, and he was sitting on his throne. Subhadra Balarama Nija Simhasana Aila Jagannatha Snana Bhoga Haita Lagila. Subhadra and Balaram also sat on their respective thrones. There followed the bathing of Lord Jagannath, and finally the offering of food. Anganate Mahaprabhu Lana Bhaktagana Ande Aramba Kaila Nartana Kirtana. While Lord Jagannath, Lord Balaram, and Subhadra sat on their respective thrones, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees began to perform Sankirtan with great pleasure, chanting and dancing in the yard of the temple. So just try and envision this. This is literally millions of people. This is Rath Yatra Festival is known as the largest gathering of people on the planet. And so this is a wonderful, wonderful story. Anande Mahaprabhara Prema Utalila Deki Saba Loka Prema Sagare Bashila. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting and dancing, he was overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and all the people who saw him were also flooded in the ocean of love of Godhead. Nityakare Sandhyakale Arati Dekila Aitota Ashi Prabhu Vishrama Karila. In the evening, after finishing his dancing in the yard of the Gundicha temple, the Lord observed the Artik ceremony. Thereafter, he went to a place called Aitota and took rest for the night. For 9 days, 9 chief devotees, headed by Advaita Acharya, got an opportunity to invite the Lord to their homes. So that Lord is, of course, Lord Chaitanya. This is here we also see the 6 loving exchanges going on, taking prasad together, revealing one's mind and confidence, and accepting prasad and inquiring confidentially. These were the pastimes of the devotees who were getting the opportunity to invite the Lord into their own homes. Can you imagine having Lord Chaitanya in your home for lunch? Pretty ecstatic. During the 4 months of the rainy season, the remaining devotees extended invitations to the Lord for 1 day each. In this way, they shared invitations. So we're seeing the devotees are getting the opportunity to host the Lord's prasadam and get his association in their own home. This is very, very auspicious, as well as delicious. For the 4-month period, all the daily invitations were shared among the important devotees. The rest of the devotees did not get an opportunity to extend an invitation to the Lord. Ekadina nimantrana kare dvi tinimili emata mahaprabhura nimantrana keli. Since they could not get 1 day each, 2 or 3 devotees combined to extend an invitation. These are the pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's acceptance of invitations. Pratakale snanakari deki Jagannath sankirtane nitya kare bhaktagana sata. After taking his bath early in the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go see Lord Jagannath in the temple. Then he would perform Sankirtan with his devotees. Kabad Advaite Naichaya Kabu Nityanande Kabu Haridase Nachaya Kabu Achutamande. By chanting and dancing, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu induced Advaita Acharya to dance. Sometimes he induced Nityananda, Haridas Thakur, and Achutananda to dance. So here we're actually seeing 2 of the most important pastimes that Srila Prabhupada taught us, and of course Lord Chaitanya is demonstrating, to take prasadam and to enthusiastically and enliveningly engage in kirtan. I always try and make it a point, at least if I can't make it for the whole morning program, to get here at least for the greeting of deities and be in the kirtan with the devotees. This is a very auspicious opportunity. It actually puts Krishna in your day, especially if you go to Mangalartik and hear the wonderful Mangalartik. by Mahamantra Prabhu or who's ever there. So this is important. One ecstatic kirtan in the day will put Maya out of the way. Kabu Vakreshvare Kabu Ara Bhaktagane Trisanya Kirtan Kare Gundicha Prangane. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu engaged Vakreshwar and other devotees in chanting and dancing 3 times daily, morning, noon, and evening. He would perform Sankirtan in the yard of the Gundicha temple. So this is the real prasad, besides prasad. 3 times daily, we take breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So also kirtan. So we have the noon artik, first Mongol artik, and then the noon artik, and then the 7 o'clock artik. Vrindavane Aila Krishna E Prabhura Gyana Krishnera Vaira Spurti Haila Avasana. At this time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt that Lord Krishna had returned to Vrindavan. Thinking this, his feelings of separation from Krishna subsided. So try and envision, this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the combined personality of not only Sri Krishna, but also Srimati Radharani. So he's experiencing all these feelings of separation from Krishna. Radha Sange Krishna Lila E Hailaks Jane E Rasa Magna Prabhu Ho Ilap Apane. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also thinking of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and he remained personally merged in this consciousness. Nandayane Bhakta Sange Vrindavana Lila Indradumna Sarovare Kare Jala Kela. There are many gardens near the Kundicha temple, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees used to perform the pastimes of Vrindavan in each of them. In the lake named Indradumna, he sported in the water. Apane Sakala Bhakte Sinche Jaladiya Saba Bhaktagana Sinche Chadike Badiya. The Lord personally splashed all the devotees with water, and the devotees surrounding him on all sides also splashed the Lord. So we see these wonderful pastimes. We can also experience this going to the Ganges or the Jamuna. Kabe eka kamandala kabu anikes mandala jala manduka badye sabe bajaya karatala. While in the water, they sometimes formed a circle, and sometimes made, and sometimes many circles. And while in the water, they used to play cymbals and imitate the croaking of frogs. Sometimes two would pair off to fight in the water. One would emerge victorious and the other defeated, and the Lord would watch all this fun. So these water sports are bona fide sports that one can engage in. We also had that experience on our first journey to Mayapur in the Ganges, and it's very enlivening. So the first sporting took place between Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu, who threw water upon one another. Advaita Acharya was defeated, and he later began to rebuke Nityananda Prabhu, calling him bad names. Vidyananda Dirajali Keli Swarupera Sane Gupta Date Jala Keli Kare Dui Jane. Swarup Damodar and Vidyanidhi also threw water upon one another, and Murari Gupta and Vasudev Datta also sported in that way. Another duel took place between Srivas Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit, and yet another between Raghava Pandit and Vikreshwar Pandit. Thus they all engaged in throwing water. Sarvabhauma Sange Keli Ramananda Roy Gambhirya Gela Dhanhara Hoila Shisha Praya. Indeed, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya engaged in water sports with Sri Ramananda Roy, and they both lost their gravity and became like children. Mahaprabhu Tandanara Chanchaya Dekhiya Gopinatha Charye Kichu Kahenasiya. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the exuberance of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya and Ramananda Roy, he smiled and spoke to Gopinath Acharya. Pandita Gambhira Dunya Brahmanika Jana Bala Chanchya Kare Karaha Varjana. Tell Bhattacharya and Ramananda Roy to stop their childish play, because they are both learned scholars and very grave and great personalities. Gopinath Acharya replied, I believe that one drop of the ocean of your great mercy has swelled up upon them. A drop from the ocean of your mercy can drown great mountains like Sumera and Mandara. Since these two gentlemen are little hills by comparison, there is no wonder that they are being drowned in the ocean of mercy. So, this is very nice pastime. Logic is like a dry oil cake from which all the oil has been extracted. Bhattacharya passed his life in eating such dry cakes, but now you have made him drink the nectar of transcendental pastimes. It is certainly your great mercy upon him. So this is in reference to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was originally, I believe, some kind of impersonalist, and he was not fully blossoming in his bhakti for Lord Chaitanya. And they're joking about how it's like eating dry cakes. And it is your mercy upon them, they're saying to Lord Chaitanya. After Gopinath Acharya finished talking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled, and calling for Advaita Acharya, made him act like the Shesha Naga bed. So the Seshanaga, we know that Seshanaga has a bed in which Lord Vishnu bathes in, floats in. Lying down on Advaita Prabhu, who was floating on the water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated the pastime of Sheshan Shayi Vishnu. So that's very interesting. Lying down on Advaita Prabhu, floating in the water, Sri Chaitanya demonstrated this amazing pastime. Manifesting his personal potency, Advaita Acharya floated about on the water, carrying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Advaita Acharya is also an expansion of Mahavishnu, who is the one that lies on the ocean. Is that the Garbhodakshaya ocean? Or Kshirodakshaya? Anybody know? What? Okay, one of the oceans. And they were carrying Sri Chaitanya. Just imagine, Sri Chaitanya was in his lap. And after sporting in the water for some time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his place at Ayatota, accompanied by his devotees. Puri Bharati Ade Yata Mukhya Bhaktagana Acharya Nimantrane Karila Bhojana. Parananda Puri, Brahmananda Bharati, and all the other chief devotees of Sri Chaitanya took lunch with the invitation of Advaita Acharya. Whatever extra prasad was brought, skip the page here. After Gopinath Acharya finished talking, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled, and calling for Advaita Acharya, made him act like the Sheshanaga bed. Lying down on Advaita Prabhu, who was floating on the water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated the pastime of Sheshayayi Vishnu. Manifesting his personal potency, Advaita Acharya floated about on the water, carrying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After sporting in the water for some time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his place at Ayodhya, accompanied by his devotees. Puri Bharati Adiyata Mukhya Bhaktagana Acharyera Mantrane Karila Bhojana Parananda Puri, Paramananda Bharati, and the other chief devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took lunch at the invitation of Advaita Acharya. Vaninatha Arayata Prasada Anila Mahaprabhur Ganese Prasada Kaila. Whatever extra prasad was brought by Vaninath Roy was taken by the other associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the afternoon, the Lord went to the Gundicha temple to visit the Lord and dance. At night, he went to the garden to take rest. Aradina Ashikaila Ishvara Darshan Parangane Nitra Gita Kaila Katakashana. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also went to the temple of Gundicha and saw the Lord. He then danced and chanted in the yard for some time. Bhaktagane Sange Prabhu Udyane Ashiya Vrindavana Vihara Kare Bhaktagana Lana. Accompanied by his devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went into the garden and enjoyed the pastimes of Vrindavan. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has pointed out that this Vrindavan Vihara, the pastimes of Vrindavan, does not refer to Krishna's mixing with the gopis or the transcendental mellow of Parakiya Rasa. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Vrindavan Leela in the garden of Jagannath Puri did not involve association with women or with other people's wives in the fashion transcendentally demonstrated by Sri Krishna. In his Vrindavan Leela, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conceived of himself as the assistant of Srimati Radharani. When Srimati Radharani enjoyed in the company of Krishna, her servants were very pleased. One should not compare Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Vrindavan Vihara in the garden of Jagannath with the activities of the Gauranga Nagaris. So this is a very important point. The Gauranga Nagaris are the Sahaja sect that obviously engage in illicit nonsense activities, considering themselves to be in the mood of Lord Chaitanya. And Prabhupada is pointing out that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conceived of himself as the assistant of Srimati Radharani, not in the mood of Srimati Radharani, but in the mood of an assistant of Srimati Radharani. So this is a very important point for us to understand about the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As he's exhibiting his Vrindavan Leela, he's seeing himself assisting as one of the gopis to help Srimati Radharani in her serving Sri Krishna. Text 97. Vriksha Kali Prapulita Prabhara Darshane Bringa Pika Gaya Vahe Shitala Pavane. There were multifarious trees and creepers in the garden, and they were all jubilant to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Indeed, the birds were chirping, the bees were buzzing, and a cool breeze was blowing. After As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced beneath each and every tree, Vasudev Datta sang along. Eka eka vriksha tale, eka eka gana gaya, parama avesha eka nache goraya. As Vasudev Datta sang a different song beneath each and every tree, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced there alone in great ecstasy. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then ordered Vikreshwar Pandit to dance, and as he began to dance, the Lord began to sing. Prabhu Sange Swarupadi Kirtaniya Gaya Dik Vidik Nahi Jana Pramara Vanyaya. Then devotees like Swarup Damodar and other kirtan performers began to sing along with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Being inundated with ecstatic love, they lost all consideration of time and circumstances. E mata kata shane karivana lila narendra sarovara geli karita jali kela. After thus performing pastimes in the garden for some time, they all went to a lake, Narendra Sarovara, and there enjoyed sporting in the water. So, from these previous verses, we can understand how kirtan is so important. That it not only enlivens us, but it also enlivens Krishna to see his devotees chanting and dancing together. It becomes a very essential part of our devotional career in making spiritual advancement, to experience not only the agony but the ecstasy of being engaged in the service of Sri Sri Radha Golokananda. After sporting in the water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to the garden and accepted prasad with the devotees. Can you imagine this? This is actually the regular day of, if you've ever been to Sadhu Sangha, it's a continuous kirtans, then prasadam, then hearing from speakers and getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So for 9 continuous days, His Lordship, Sri Jagannath Dev, stayed at the Gundicha temple. During this time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also stayed there and performed the pastimes with his devotees that have already been described. Jagannatha Vallabha Namabada Pushparana Navadina Karena Prabhu Tathai Vishrama. The garden of his pastimes was very large and named Jagannath Vallabha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his rest there for 9 days. So does anyone have any comments or questions they would like to share? Anything about this pastime? Go ahead. No, this one.
130,
105.
105. Put that little piece of right there on there. 105.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindanalayataksam Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandar Bhagom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Anandani Asta Sakale Priya Priti Manti Vasyan Dipan Dikayanti Giram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Page 22. Gauranga Bolite Hame Pulakashari Gauranga Bolite Hame Pulakashari Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Babenir Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Babenir Harakabe Nitai Chander Karuna Hoime Harakabe Nitai Chandera Karuna Hoime Samsara Basana Mora Kabe Tucha Hoibe Samsara Basana Mora Kabe Tucha Hoibe Vishaya Chariya Kabe Shudahabe Man Vishaya Chariya Kabe Kabe Hamayaravo Sri Vrindavana. Kabe Hamayaravo Sri Vrindavana. Rupa Raghunatha Pane Hoive Akuti. Rupa Raghunatha Pane Hoive Akuti. Kabe Hamabuja Bose Yugala Piruti. Kabe Hamabuja Bose Yugala Piruti. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahumorasha. Rupa Raghunatha Pade Rahumorasha. Prarthana karo ye sada Narottama dasa. Prarthana karo ye sada Narottama dasa. Goranga bolite habe pulaka sharir. Goranga bolite habe pulaka sharir. Hari hari bolite nayane babenir. Hari hari bolite nayane babenir. Goranga bolite have pulaka sharir. Goranga bolite have pulaka sharir. Hari hari bolite nayane babenir. Hari hari bolite nayane babenir. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe. Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe. Radha Goloka Nanda Radha Goloka Nanda Shri Radhe. Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura, Haribo. Jai Vishnupada, Pravakacharya's Divine Grace, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna. Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. When will that opportune moment come to me when I shiver upon chanting the name of Lord Gauranga? When will I cry while chanting Hare Krishna? When will I receive the causeless mercy of Lord Nityananda so that my desires for material enjoyment become insignificant? When will my mind be purified of material anxieties and desires so that I can understand Vrindavan? When shall I be very eager to study the books left by the 6 Goswamis so I can understand the conjugal love of Radha and Krishna? The lotus feet of the 6 Goswamis are my only shelter. In constant separation from them, I remain Narottama Dasa. Srila Narottama Das Thakur Ki Jai. Chito Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Sreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buri Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Risvasvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarnitami Amita Smaranena Kala Etadrisita Vakrivan Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaiva Midrishanihana Nuragaha Trinadapi Sunichena Tarurapi Shahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Vajakarisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishvare Bhavatad Bhaktire Tukitvaye Ayinandan Tanuja Kinkara Patitamam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kripaya Tava Para Pankaja Stita Duri Satrisham Vinchaya Nayanam Galara Shrudaraya Vadanam Gadgadara Gargira Ulakar Nichitam Babukada Vrava Mahavare Bhavishati Yuga Yutam Nimeshena Chakshusha Pravishayatam Sunyayatam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Vidahena Me Ashri Shava Pararatam Punastumam Adarshanam Marmahatam Karutava Yatatatava Vidantana Pato Matpranastas tu Saevana Paraha. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years, and it extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. O my Lord, Congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings. And thus you have hundreds of millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your house's devotional service, birth after birth. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. O my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will my hairs on my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? O Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything. Free is always my worshipful Lord, unconditionally. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.